do believe in separation, standing on our own feet among our own kind and solving our own problems. And that's the only way you'll get a solution to the vital race problem in this country.
I don't think we talk enough about how integration has historically meant Black Americans trying to be comfortable in white supremacist environments. Looking at this dynamic 60-plus years later, has integration been a benefit or a detriment to the Black American collective? When we have terms like diversity, inclusion, and equity floating around the workplace, one can only assume the latter. I believe these affirmative action and tokenism trinkets have left us vulnerable. These terms and practices may sound good at face value, but sooner or later you'll have realized that you've backed yourself into the corner of marginalization, discrimination, and dependency.
It's a trap!
What's your suggestion? What should be my movement? Integrate?
Yeah, equal rights in a mixed society.
In this society, where you still own the government, you still own the train station, the railroad plant, the lecture plant, these television cameras, you still make all the food, you control everything, and I'm like a leech on a dog's back. All I can do is just wait for you. I can't do nothing for myself. Integrate in your society don't mean I'm doing nothing for myself. You doing it all. I want to do something for myself. I'm tired of depending on you. You might get broke one day. Your stores might close. Your gas pumps might cut off again. I'm relying on you now. Can I have my own land and country?
Do people get upset when black folks start talking about coming together and uniting and working together and cooperating together, buying from each other and supporting each other? You know why? For a simple reason that everybody understands. When you come together and unify, that signifies strength. And right now, everybody right now is pimping and hustling black folk. They've been pimping and hustling black folk for 400 or 500 years.
Everything is always about race with you. If you don't like the way you're being treated at my table, then go build your own. You know what? That's a great idea. Sitting at this table has brought my community nothing but misery, pain, and suffering. This table. I'm out of here. Now this is more like it. Building a future for ourselves is the only way to move forward. Let's finally eat, build, and live in peace. Wow, this is a nice spread. Hey, can I sit with you guys? No, we're busy. Beat it. What? That's not very nice. After all I've done for you people. That's not cool, bruh. What are you all up to anyways? This looks suspicious to me. Don't make me call the cops. As soon as we build something awesome for ourselves, this insecure mother tries to mess it up. Why can't you toxic mother leave us alone? They don't want us at their table, and they don't want us to have our own table. They won't be satisfied until we're back at their table getting mistreated and begging for scraps. No, never again. Not in this lifetime. We control our destiny. Did you hear me? This is racist. No, this is intelligence. Your table is racist as you blame me for reacting to your toxic table, but never discuss the anti-black hate that caused it. The only solution for us was separation, to stop blaming your table for what you've done, and stop begging you to solve our problems. We'll be able to solve our problems ourselves. Now get the out of here, you gaslighting pieces.
So where does Black America currently stand in this white-dominated economic system? Well, to understand that, we must explore this matrix and how we contribute to it. What is white supremacy? Control. Systematic programming. White supremacy is historical social engineering, built to keep us under control
in order to change a human being into this.
We spend approximately 97% to 98% of all our money outside of our own community, as an example. And we don't practice group economics, we don't practice group politics. All that makes, when we spend 98% of all our money outside of our community, what that does, it makes the other groups enriched. They now are living off of two incomes. They live off of 100% of their money and 98% of our money. And what are we left with is 2%. Where everybody else is living off of 198% of everything, we live off of 2%, which makes it impossible.
In other words, it's time that we get off the treadmill of consumerism. When we collectively buy goods and services that our group does not produce, then we're essentially running in place while every other tribe reaps the benefits. Our blood, sweat, and labor becomes everyone else's wealth, comfort, and security. We're giving our power away, which has always been the case here in America. The cotton that was once picked to enrich our enemies has now been replaced with a mindset of vanity and materialism.
What up with those cheap-looking threads? My chain is worth more than your whole set. Whatever, dude. I only rock the latest gear, the flyest cars, and sport the hottest tech. You not messing with my swagnificence. I stay fresh.
Your name brands are fake and that car is outdated. Up your game,
Did you hear that? You see, I told you, if you want to be financially set, then you got to set up shop in the black community.
Who do you think gave you those loans to set up shop? My banks have been giving you business loans and denying blacks for 60 years. You get to vacuum out black wealth for your benefit, and I can keep these right where I want them for my benefit. It's a win-win.
I know exactly where to put on my next business. These black people are literally begging us to take our money.
Yes, this is really important. Asian Americans were redlined from opening businesses in white neighborhoods because white people didn't want Asian Americans operating in their neighborhoods and didn't want Asian Americans profiting off of white people. But because the positionality of Asian Americans is weaponized to oppress black people, Asian Americans were being given loans to open businesses in black communities, even though black people were not able to receive loans to open businesses in their own communities.
Bruh.
And as I've said before, as a result of this, black wealth is essentially paid out twice when it goes to Asian American businesses. Once when the individual pays for the goods or services, and then again when the Asian American business owner removes the profit from the community. Because usually people open businesses in their own communities, and this is mutually beneficial, where the business owner is making a livelihood off of providing goods and services to their community, and by being a member of the community, they're contributing and they're investing back into the community. This is an ideal situation, and that is not what happens with Asian American businesses operating in black communities.
I'm not gonna lie, this pissed me off, because I grew up in the thick of this mess. Growing up in Philly, at the end of my block there were all kinds of Asian businesses. They provided a service, yes, but little did I know, they were also there to vacuum the wealth out of our communities to benefit their own. 20 to 30 plus years later, what do you think my old neighborhood looks like today? What I see is an increase in poverty, crime, violence, and drug abuse. I thought Section 8 housing and welfare was supposed to benefit the community.
In a published paper by Harvard alum Fritz Foley, one can see the correlation between crime and welfare payments as the text reads. Analysis of daily reported incidents of major crimes in 12 U.S. cities reveals an increase in crime over the course of monthly welfare payment cycles. The jump reflects increases in crime that are likely to have a direct financial motivation like burglary, larceny, theft, motor vehicle theft, and robbery.
It's a slow death when the nuclear family, jobs, and opportunities get vacuumed out of your community. I wonder how the Asian community is making out all these years later.
There's a direct relationship between having the businesses and being in prison. Go find see how many Asians you can find in American prisons. They ain't gonna be in there. But 51% of your prison will be black because blacks don't have any businesses and industries. There's a direct link. Blacks won't practice group economics. Blacks won't practice group politics. If you don't practice, you're setting yourself up, as I told that 5-story building, you're setting yourself to get wiped out.
I think the black collective has grossly underestimated this white supremacist system and their persistence to keep black America down. I've lost count to how many times our ignorance was used to benefit another. So let me get this straight. White-owned banks denied blacks and granted Asians business loans to set up shop in the black community, to basically take wealth, comfort, and security out of it. Let's take a minute to discuss the anti-black habits being formed here. When you grow up in that type of environment, this becomes the norm, and not this. That's a problem, because when you don't see black folks spending with black folks, it becomes unfamiliar. Habits done as a child usually carry over to adulthood. Some of us, unfortunately, don't know any better than what our environment has taught us. For the most part, we were born into this cave of allegory, born into this American matrix. If you want me to make another video breaking down this American matrix graphic, let me know by leaving a comment below. If you come from this community and all you've seen and practiced is this, then I'm afraid your future and your children's future looks bleak. bleak meaning 98% of our wealth leaving the community. We need to reverse this and take full control of our labor and wealth.
And I was like, but again, there's no mutuality, because there's a dynamic again where it's the business owners versus customers, and it's business owners in the neighborhood of the customers. So that's a power dynamic. And I think something that I wish I didn't feel as cynical about is it's been so long that I feel like if these businesses wanted to do better, they could have done better by now. So I kind of at this point I support boycotts. I get called a traitor for that, because they're saying, like, you know, you're advocating for people to not support Asian American businesses. And I'm like, but if they're going to engage in predatory capitalism, and if they're not going to do right by the communities that they're in, then what else do you do? Like, there's no more explaining.
Go down your YouTube. Does it look like Black America's in a crisis? Right. $2 billion on Air Jordans every year.
You're right.
$4 billion on liquor. $30 billion on hair and beauty. Nearly $1 billion on chicken, turkey, beef, and pork. Multiple billion on video games. Multiple million on children's cologne.
What did it cost?
But half the black boys in America in 4th grade can't read on their grade level.
That's a fact.
Half the black boys in America in 8th grade can't read on their grade level. Definitely. But we spending $21 million on cologne. We have to look in the mirror too, and look at how we make it easy for people to disrespect us. Because how does the people in your condition have the time to engage in this type of tomfoolery over here? Yeah. If I'm Chinese looking at Black America, how do I make sense out of this? Right. Y'all can't care about yourselves, because as much as you talk about reparations and as much as you talk about the next presidential election, look at the money you waste. Imagine a Korean walk into a black community meeting on reparations, a Korean, and stand up and say, "Can I ask y'all a question? Why y'all in here arguing over reparations when y'all done turned my people into $1 trillion nation? Take $30 billion off y'all people a year. $30 billion a year. How much have we give the Koreans over the past 30 years? What's 30 billion times 30 years? And you talking about reparations?"
We'll be right back after these messages. This so-called community deserves a better class of activism. Do not expect white media to ever create positive black images. I've had enough. So beautiful. The blueprint to a successful relationship starts with, so you're mad at the perception, but what about it's time that we get off the treadmill of consumerism?
The 98% of all our money.
But you cannot consume yourself into equality. You must produce. When he says, "I'm not gonna let the wolf eat me anymore."
Code of conduct number 2. Never take sides against the black family.
The only solution is separation.
Let's talk about it.
I'm black, I'm proud of it.
You want society to accept you, but you can't even accept yourself.
I'm black and beautiful.
Perfection. I'll do whatever I have to do to keep them off my back. Somebody's knocking you over the head, stop.
Training is over. Let's get to work. Let's see if I can give it to you. Next time on Real Talk TV.
Nearly 2/3 of mortgage lenders denied loans for people of color at higher rates than for white people.
What group do you know can come out of decades of mortgage discrimination and predatory capitalism unharmed? It's time to separate.
If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you enjoy my content and want to see more, there's many ways to support the channel. Check out the online store, check out the comic books, or you can make a donation or become a patron. Thanks for watching.